If you're making under 10K a month right now in your business, you need to stop focusing on perfectionistic actions or focusing on things that don't really matter or move the needle forward as a business owner. These can be things like spending time editing your videos to perfection because you want the perfect aesthetic, or things like consistently checking your emails every hour just because hitting that refresh button is somehow magically going to lead to more business. This conversation is for you. I'm not an Alex Hormozi or a Gary Vee, but I can speak to this to some level because I hit 35K MRR last month, and this was with a team of 20, so I know what it feels like to be overextended on day-to-day operations or trying to be overly a perfectionist. I know what that feels like, but if I was to give you some advice here, it would be to stop focusing on things that don't move the needle forward, because I promise you, there is somebody that's working just as hard as you. So if you see the same old bullshit of, oh, I'm the hardest worker in the room, the fact is you're really not. Alex Hormozi actually does a really good piece on this about leverage in a business where the time in with the most output out is the person that's working the hardest, not the person that's putting in the most time. And besides, if you're working more than 18 hours a day, it means you're not getting enough sleep, which probably isn't good for somebody who's running an online business in the first place. Now, if you're still below the 10K range and what I've said so far resonates with you, these are the three key things that I would actually focus my efforts on in 2023. The first of the three being cold outreach. Now, why cold outreach and not something like paid ads or social media content or YouTube videos? Because cold outreach, from my experience, no matter the niche, has always been the cheapest but also the most time-consuming way of bringing clients in consistently into your business. And not just time-consuming, it can also be draining as well, but I'll get into that in just a second. At the cheapest levels of cold outreach, you download a Chrome extension like SalesQL, or you go on Instagram and search for hashtags in your specific niche and manually look at profiles to see if anyone fits a target audience for your services. It's 100% free to send messages or send emails manually just to be able to get responses back. And I promise you that if you stick to sending 100 emails a day or 100 outreach messages a day, no matter what the platform, you will get booked meetings for your high-ticket service or product, and you will close deals. So if you're below 10K a month, your first leverageable task needs to be cold outreach. You can then start building systems around it, and when you get past the 10K ceiling, you're definitely going to want to bring other lead generation mechanisms, but up till that 10K point, you really don't need anything but cold outreach. It's the cheapest way for you as well to be able to get more clients for your business, and because you have all the time in the world comparatively to somebody that's running their business and is in the weeds of it past the 10K mark, you have time to do cold outreach at scale. The second thing that I want you to focus on if you're under 10K a month is research and documentation. Now, what do I mean by that? I want you to break down your business into its very core, look at the different components of your business, and then focus on how you can make each part better, even in the most marginal way. Whether that's your offer and just making it much more valuable to the marketplace, whether that's really nailing down your target audience and really learning the inner workings of where they hang out, what's their dream outcomes, their pain points, how they think, how they feel, how they purchase things, or if it's your clients that you currently have in your business, which one do you give the best results to, which ones do you enjoy working the best? Document all of those things. Unlike what other people say, I wouldn't at this stage write complete SOPs for your business, and I'll tell you why. About a year and a half ago, and I have a media company, just for some context, I had written all these SOPs. I spent 6 months, and I would spend about 6 to 7 hours a day every single day writing these SOPs, trying to perfect them. And then at the end of those 6 or 7 months, I realized that the way things had worked originally when I started writing them were completely different than after I finished writing them. The marketplace had changed, the algorithms had changed, and even more so, I had found parts in the service offering that were more valuable than other parts, and we ended up cutting some parts away and doubling down on other parts of the offering. So I wrote all those SOPs for essentially nothing. It was a massive learning experience, but I wouldn't want you to make the same mistake trying to write SOPs. That was some really bad advice that I got early on in my business, to write SOPs for everything. And the truth is, if you're under 10K a month, you don't even really know how scalable the current iteration of your business model is going to be, and you might need to pivot in one direction or another at some point, which means all the SOPs, the stringent structured SOPs that you had written before this, would completely go to waste. Instead, I just want you to purely document and then research behind how to make every part of your business better, more well-functioned, and running more like a well-oiled machine. And while you're doing this research and documentation, I want you to even keep facets open within the business where if change happens, you're able to easily adapt it into your current model and then keep building off of it. So what do I mean by that? Right now, my clients each have a specific content strategy for each platform. And then we have a researcher within the business that researches trends or changes on every single platform so that as soon as one change happens, we're able to easily pivot the content strategy, not just for one, but for all of our clients at the same time, and we're able to adjust for trends and changes in the algorithm and changes on social media and changes in the marketplace. This is essentially what you want to build for yourself as well. A good business is a flexible and fluid business. And the third thing that I would focus on in terms of leverageable tasks is picking either video or text content. If you go with text content because you feel like you're a better writer, LinkedIn is your platform. And if you pick video content, then YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are your platforms. Now, usually everybody will tell you to go hit the short form content because there's a lot of reach. But as someone who works with every one of these platforms and have for quite some time, as well as quite a few connections in the B2B space, telling you LinkedIn is just as useful, if not sometimes better for a service offering. So it really just comes down to, do you feel like you're a better writer or do you feel like you're better on video? At this below 10K range, you really just want to pick one and not try to dabble in. And then from there, just do imperfect action consistently. Don't try to be a perfectionist. If you do video, maybe edit for a little bit and then pop it out. Don't focus on making this perfect, beautiful aesthetic product. You're not there just yet. You just need something going out so that you build your brand and a foundation. So as you slowly scale up your business, you have another lead gen source that's organic that you can lie back on. And if you go the LinkedIn route, focus on creating a daily writing habit. Just put something out there. It doesn't have to be perfect whatsoever. It just has to be consistent. You will eventually, slowly but surely, pick up things from people that you're following on LinkedIn or short form videos that you run into on Instagram on how to implement things into your own content. Because at that point, you're not just a content consumer, you're a content creator. And when you're a creator, your mindset shifts to look at things that people are doing and see how you can implement them, or focus on analyzing them and why they're working for them and how you can bring it into your own content to make your content better. It's a mindset shift that you want to get as fast as possible as someone that's below a 10K month range. Anyways, if I was going to leave you with something, I need you to understand and get used to being uncomfortable as your business grows. This is something that I wish I knew as my business was growing. Your business will break, it will blow, and there will be multiple times where you will have to manually break it, dig into it, and look into what's going on in the inner workings of your business so that you can build it back together stronger. This might mean having to drop some clients sometimes, or having to drop some parts of your service, or having to do things that you just don't like to do. But in order to level up the current business that you have, focus on imperfect action consistently and focus on letting go of being uncomfortable. Half the journey of this business game anyways is all mental. So stick through imperfect action consistently and focus on those 3 leverageable tasks. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of. Till next time.